A British team is sent to cross occupied Greek territory and destroy the massive German gun emplacement in a key sea channel in 1961's action-adventure classic, The Guns of Navarone.
Carl Foreman's The Guns of Navarone. The greatest high adventure of our time, with a cast as exciting as the story it tells.
The Guns of Navarone is a great action-adventure movie, and most people, I think, at first glance would assume that it's a war movie, which it is, but even the film's star, Gregory Peck, when he first read the script, said that it's not really a major serious war film. It's an action-adventure type film, which the best part of that is that didn't diminish the importance of the project. In fact, the entire film stars, which by the way, it's an all-star cast with Tony Quinn, David Niven, Anthony Quayle, great performers, and they take the parts so seriously, especially Anthony Quinn, who Gregory Peck, later years, in speaking about Tony Quinn, said in a speech that he's a formidable actor and you have to step lively to stay on the screen with Tony Quinn. And you see that in any sequence that Gregory Peck has with Anthony Quinn, he's really trying to step up his game to match him because, you know, he's really a force to be reckoned with on the screen, and is one of the great supporting character actors of all time, in my opinion. Having said that, what's different about this movie, particularly in the time that it was made, 1961, is that it has a lot of espionage in it, which usually isn't used in films, especially back then. It was very sophisticated in the way that the story was executed. It wasn't all emphasized on the action or just the drama of it. There was a lot of facts going into it that supported the story. And the movie's runtime is 2.5 hours, which is a bit lengthy, particularly for an action movie. But what makes it great, and this is why I think that movies today like that, The Expendables in particular, when I watch it, it reminds me a lot of that movie. The movies are not lengthy, which I understand it's tough to keep an attention span for that sort of thing, but each sequence is handled with such patience and care that it heightens the level of suspense and gives you a sense of reality as well, which, if you're a patient audience member, makes it completely worth it in the end, especially with a movie like this, which has such care and effort put behind it. You could just tell from the director, J. Lee Thompson, from the actors, Gregory Peck, David Niven, Anthony Quinn, they all give such care and time and precision in the performances, and it almost looks like you're watching like a documentary of sorts. In fact, that's how the film opens, with documentary footage that explains the exposition of the story, which is really a great way to put you into the action of it. The screenplay was written by Carl Foreman, who wrote such screenplays as High Noon and The Bridge on the River Kwai. And if you need a reference of what the film is really all about stylistically, it has a lot in common with The Bridge on the River Kwai. I always thought that was another film that was way ahead of its time in terms of just the execution of storytelling and the whole espionage and military research that's put into the film. Not to say that, you know, other war films at that time didn't have a lot of research in it. It's just this one seemed really down and dirty and into the that kind of grunt mentality of how how a day-to-day kind of thing goes. The film was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, which is big for a movie such as that. When you watch it, it seems like that kind of movie that you know is really good, but the Academy will overlook it and not take it seriously because it's, you know, kind of a adventure-type film. But I think it is all because of the writing, the actors, the director, who's J. Lee Thompson, was not a big director at the time in America. He had done some English films, and Gregory Peck had stroke over who was directing his films, as did all major film stars then and now, and he trusted him, and which is something that, you know, Gregory Peck was great at. He was a great judge of character. He knew a good story when he saw one. He knew a great director when he saw one. So he was a big supporter in and had a lot to do with the project getting done. But the film was nominated, like I said, for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and 1 for Best Special Effects, which that's what they called the category back then. It wasn't visual effects or sound mixing or anything like that, because they didn't really emphasize that much on that style of filmmaking. So, like I said, just like a lot of these elements really are very ahead of its time for when it came out. Having said that it's ahead of its time, it's still ahead of its time even today, because I would say that movies such as The Expendables or any other type of like espionage film that gets churned out over and over again today should take note from that movie. Notes even, particularly the fact that it's over 2.5 hours, which goes to show you that they had a lot of faith in the project, and just the effort that goes into it. There is no genre in film that should not be taken seriously, and I think more than ever that statement should apply to the action-adventure drama, and this is a great example of that kind of, the preservation of that thought. So, let me know in the comments what you thought of the Guns of Navarone. Let me know what you thought of the sequences the exchanges between Anthony Quinn and Gregory Peck's characters. I think they're extremely volatile, and that's the peak of the performances in the whole film. Let me know what you thought of the effects. How does it hold up to a contemporary espionage military film? And that's pretty much it.